What is up, boys, and welcome back. Today we have a very important video on crypto. I do actually want to break down Ethereum and Bitcoin's price action. Go ahead and work out this chart and see where we could be headed for both of these. Now, I am very bullish long term for both of these cryptocurrencies, but I do think that in the short term we are going to see a very nice tradable opportunity, and I do think that's what we're getting right now on both of these currencies. So I think now is the best time to buy in. So this is now the best time for us to talk about it. Let's go ahead and jump right in, not waste any more time, and get right into this video. Jumping onto the charts here, we're going to first take a look at Bitcoin, but before I do get into it, make sure you guys do drop a like and subscribe. Comment down below any other cryptocurrencies or stocks you want me to review. That's all I have. Let's get back into it. Taking a look here, you can see Bitcoin is right at around $110,000. And it seems like we have been in a nice little pullback after hitting a high around 124,500. Now, I do really want to show you guys the patterns on these cryptocurrencies because I believe that this is the best way to trade them. Now, we can see that these patterns are very clear. When we put in our 200 EMA right here on the daily chart, you guys can see we dip under this 200 EMA and we have a massive 160% explosion up to around 75K from 16K a few years back. Now this happens again when we dip below this 200 EMA and then have an 80% explosion up to around 106K. Once again, we rinse and repeat this pattern back down under this 200 EMA. This is our buy zone, and you can see from there we have another 44% gain. Now, factoring in the way that this is kind of, uh, been split in half, 160, and then you get half of that to 80, and then half of that to 40. We could go ahead and forecast out a 20% move up to our first target, which is going to be at $131,000. Now, this would be a very good trade to take this. If you can get a price down here, this would actually be a little bit more where you can actually get an entry down here. Now, I can see us actually dipping back down to around $96,000 at the low. I don't think that that happens, but I do think that there is a way where that does because Bitcoin loves to flush down, exit those traders, get that liquidity out of there, get those smart money traders in, and then from there they push up. But our other case scenario is we actually move up to my main target, which is going to be up to $166,576. Now, I don't have a true timeline for this because this is such a long-term play. There really shouldn't be any timeline for this. Over time, this stock or this cryptocurrency is going to go up, and that is all that matters. I don't care if this happens by tomorrow. I don't care if this happens by Q1 of 2026, and I don't care if this happens by 2030. Now, this is going to happen. That is all that you have to worry about. And I do actually want to go ahead and switch over to the weekly here. And I wanted to draw out my fibs here and see where we are on this massive macro trend. Because I do think that if we can get back down to around this $97,000 level, we can actually get a bounce that looks something like this, where we come back down, retest it, and then we can work our way up to around 147,000. And that would kind of change our targets just a little bit. But like I said, I don't really see us hitting that low. I could see us dipping, maybe right below $100,000 and then flipping back up. But I really do think that this is coming to an end right here, and I think that upside is going to quickly come back in. So if we do get some consolidation down in this box under this 200 EMA, that is amazing. I'm going to look to buy around $10,000 worth of Bitcoin. Currently, I have about $5 worth. I really don't have much. I've been buying more Ethereum because I will talk about it in a minute, but I think that they have, much more upside from here. But if Bitcoin is going to give me a signal that I cannot pass up, I'm definitely not going to let that one fly, and I'm definitely going to be buying under that 200 EMA. Now, this is all I have for Bitcoin. Like I said, the price is inevitably just going to keep going up until about $1 million to $2 million from my analysis. Understanding the way that their currency works with their supply and demand, it is a simple math equation that lets you know that as more of them get bought up, more of them are going to be in demand, but there is less supply. Simple supply and demand, the stock or the cryptocurrency should inevitably go up with that demand increase. Now, this is all I have for Bitcoin. I am a little bit more excited to talk about Ethereum, so let's go ahead and jump right into that. Alrighty, now jumping over to Ethereum here, we have another amazing pattern that you can see very simply. You don't have to be any kind of high-level trader to see this pattern. You just have to be able to identify a pattern at all. Now, taking a look here, you can see that we get this nice bit of consolidation right here. Then we get a dip below this consolidation, and then that dip gets bought up immensely, and we get a large influx in price. Now, once again, we get a nice bit of consolidation, not as long, but some good consolidation. We get a sweep of those lows, and then we continue higher. Now, what is happening right now? We get this nice little bit of consolidation, and then we get this sweep of lows. This could take us a little bit lower, but this is the sweep of lows, and then from there, we should continue much higher. Now, I do think that we can work our way down to this 200 EMA, and that would be insanely bullish. I would love to see a move that takes us, something like this down to this 200 EMA, and then back up to around, 5,600, then retesting 46, and then moving up to 66. 6640, which is my top target for this year. I do think that we can hit 6640 by the end of this year. Sorry, my allergies are terrible. But taking a look here, you can see that we got a 101% move off the lows here, a 135% move off of the low of that sweep right there. And then coming off the low of this sweep, we should have still gotten about a 50% move. Yeah, so still looking really, really good. And targeting out our move, 75% is nothing crazy. I do think that that is going to happen by the end of this year. And Ethereum moves really, really quickly, guys. If we are to get an alt season type, amazing run in all of cryptocurrencies, I could see something like this happening. Zooming out here, you can see that was our micro trend up to around 6,600. I think that is the short-term top. I think what is going to happen is we're going to get a move that takes us up to around 6,600. Now from there, we'll come back down, test our macro wave one extension. Sorry, and then from there, hit our macro target. My macro target for this year or for next year is going to be up 124% from those lows up to around $8,500. Now, I do think that this is very, very possible. A lot of popular investors, Tom Lee, and other big investors are expecting this to be worth north of $12 to $22,000 currently. So if we really do get crazy, we could definitely see something like that. I mean, that is only our second move up on our 2618. So that really isn't too insane when you're talking technically. Obviously, that would be an insane move and it would make people a whole shit ton, a lot of money. But overall, that's really not a crazy thing to see, especially with how insane crypto really can run. I'm not saying that I think that's going to happen by any means, but I will say that I do think that by 2030, I can definitely see the price being above $12 to $15,000. I really do think that the top, at least for my trade right here, I'm looking to see around $16,000 before I end up actually selling. I do currently own around 1.5 Ethereum. I'm looking to get to 2 or 3 possibly. And what that would do for me is let me get in under $4,000 really, and run that up, make 4x on that. And that'd be about a $20,000 trade over, just letting something sit for about 2 or 3 years. And then you never know. This really could go crazy, and we could see another, mini Bitcoin right here. And this could be $50,000 to $60,000, like Tom Lee says, in just a few years. He actually put that price projection out, saying that it could be at $60,000. So let's go ahead and have some fun and draw that out real quick. Let's see what that looks like. From prices today up to 60,000. Calm, 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 little 1,400% gains, boys. Is that possible? We like that. That's a little crazy to me, but main point that I'm getting at with all of this is just pointing out that we can see these clear patterns. You just have to look for them. And when these patterns come, you have to make sure that you can capitalize on them as well. So I can see that with our buy zone here on these sweeps, if we bought at these sweeps, we would be cooking every single time. Now, I do think that we are going to get another opportunity. The one thing that I do want to point out is if this is going to be, a macro trend right here, I actually already have it drawn out. If this is going to be our fifth wave extension right here, we are going to need another pullback. Now, what that would look like is going to be most likely an ABC move like this, where we just come back down, right back to all-time highs, and then from there we continue up. And that would look something like this, where we have our move, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 would take us up to 8,582. This is what I'm talking about with the timeline doesn't matter, just because there is so many different things that can happen. Crypto is hard to predict. If we get some amazing catalysts that, the US is going to use it as their stable coin, obviously price action is probably going to pick up. So things like that are going to impact this. I think that we are going to get some kind of big catalyst coming soon to really ignite this kind of crypto run that we are looking at right here. But it really depends because we haven't gotten the exact, amazing bull run which was predicted a few years back when everybody thought Bitcoin was going to be at $250,000 in November of 2025. It's still definitely possible, but I still think that just sitting on these cryptocurrencies, don't even touch them. Just don't even look at the chart. Just buy these and forget about it. Put them in one of those 10 app wallets and just forget. Come back in a few years and you will be insanely, insanely happy. So that is what my plan is with Ethereum. Like I said, I'm looking to get to around 1 Satoshi of Bitcoin, which would be currently worth about $11,000 right now. Yeah, with price at around 110. And then I would love to get to about a 3 Ethereum. I don't know how realistic that is currently, but I really would like to get up there. I think that'd be a very, very good spot to be personally. But I think buying as much as you can, whether that's BMNR, whether that's Ethereum, whether that's, I would prefer to go with just straight the cryptocurrency. But if you are going to buy, one of those banks, I do like BM&R. I really don't like a lot of those Bitcoin ones, but I would just go straight up with the crypto, buy it, forget about it, come back, look in 10, 15 years, and go take your family out to a nice vacation, dinner, buy a new house, whatever the hell you're going to do. All right, boys. Well, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for me. I normally don't break down crypto, so let me know in the comments down below if you enjoyed this video, if I should stay with stocks or anything in between. Now, make sure you guys do like and subscribe as always, and I'll see you guys in the next video.